Hi guys, it's me, Joseph Illusion again. And for this video that I will be dedicating to my birthday month in June of 2026, I shall be talking about an old movie which kind of encapsulates my personality, comedy, and the fact that the name of the movie is Joe Dirt kind of has something to do with that too. Because I picked up my name is Joe, but not Dirt, or as he puts it, Dirty. Which, yeah, to fancy it up, Joe Dirt refers to himself as Joe Dirty, which is kind of dumb because he spells out the dirt, but with the addition of Dirty, there should be even an exclamation mark on the end of it. So, anyway, that's kind of silly and stupid. And it's about a plucky guy who meets a bunch of offbeat friends who, pretty much, unite at the end of the movie to, help him out and support him and stuff. So, it's kind of like more of a fantastical, like, journey's story, like, the journey with the end that is very, very good and really kind of emotional. But, before I get into the whole story proper, that includes two, not only one, but two, defining roles of two of the actors involved in this. Mr. Joe Dirt being played by David Spade is by far his most iconic role ever. I think, him in them. And Bill Cusco from the movie Emperor in the Groove. I think that David Spade does a wonderful job with that. But there's also somebody else too that has a very minor role, which I think is very accurate to what he's trying to portray. So, before I get into the story proper, let me just talk about the cover art and the DVD art. I like this cover art too much because it shows Joe Dirt in the front and foremost place, which is normal for a hero's journey. That's what I figured out. But if you look, two very lovely blonde women are they're trying to vie for his affection. And I don't like that because in the movie they aren't even in the same room together. I don't even think that they know each other exists in the context of the movie. So it's kind of stupid that they had them to get doing a stare down, a challenge, you want him, you gotta beat me up, all this other stuff. And one woman played by Brittany Daniel, which plays Brandy. Yeah, I could go for some Brandy right now. And Jill, played by Jamie Presley, both love interests for Joe Dirty. Now, this DVD cover, this cover art is more accurate to what we see in the movie because it involves Joe Dirt and it's like he's being hugged by Brandy, which is, in all intents and purposes, his true destiny. Both in this movie and in the next movie, Joe Dirt, a beautiful loser, or the beautiful loser. But the less I talk about that movie, the better. I prefer to not think that movie exists. kind of like bio bully. Anyway, he's also got a little four-legged friend of his named Charlie. And unfortunately, Charlie doesn't make it to the end of the movie because the father, Brandy's father, played by Joe Don Baker, another Joe, ends up going all ODO on his ass. And unfortunately, it's his own damn fault. Well, I'll get more into that when I get in the movie. Anyway, this movie starts out with Joe Dirt as an adult looking for a job, and he finds it working as a janitor at Dennis Miller's radio show. Now, I don't know if they do this anymore, but way back when, in at least 2001 when the movie came out, they had like celebrities and whatever doing like radio shows, like Howard Stern shows, like that. So yeah, they didn't really actually interview this guy Joe Dirt because he was so how should I put this? So pathetic that they actually wanted to interview him and make a big kind of like a mini series out of it, life story, with him telling it on the radio. Very similar to what I do online here. But without the absence of hot chicks, like that my programming in, sure. So anyway, they have it where they portray Joe Dirt as a hillbilly. Now, there's a very distinct line between a hillbilly and a redneck. Because apparently, if it's like the word, it's like the N-word. If someone white said the word redneck, it's acceptable. But if a minority person were to say the word redneck, it's like a demonization type process, by which it's not allowed. So fuck it, I'm white, so I'm gonna say it, and have a mate that I want. So anyway, there's a fine line between redneck and hillbilly. Being that a hillbilly is more or less like the word dumb, and redneck is more like the word ignorant. Meaning that when I was a kid, I was dumb. I didn't know much about biology or history or biology. But someone who's ignorant would say, I don't know much history or biology. I don't care. I want to say it as stupid as I was when I was born. So, yeah. Now, let me get into the other character that I think encapsulate his acting perfectly in this movie. They have Kid Rock in this movie. I know that Kid Rock has, in the past and most recently, shown himself to be kind of a nuisance person. More aligned with the conservative right and MAGA in particular. But I think that this movie encapsulates his personality and his ignorance more than anything else. Like, this came before the MAGA movement came into play. And he's very good at the role. I can't think of any other actor or human being that would be a perfect match for the character of Robbie. Because Robbie is one of those people who's ignorant, can't read properly. I don't know if Kid Rock can read or not, but I'm gonna assume that yes, he can. because it was called for this movie. But the character Robert can't read, presumably can't write either very well, and he's very mean, very disrespectful, wants grandiose himself. He's got so much pride in his own work that I'm not just. He runs around with a little gang of merry men, and keep also there. He doesn't want to help out a hero. In fact, he wants to hurt the hero in the worst way possible. He wants to bully him around. I'm sure that's why Kid Rock to T. Now I know that he's done other movies too. 2 movies in particular. One about biker dogs, or something about bikers. I never saw it, so I don't know. And that was most Jones, who just plays the cartoon German version of himself. Which I have no idea why he would play a German himself. When meanwhile the real life character of himself, he played a German, so that was spot on casting right there. And he's just a very creepy and very cringy type person, telling everyone that Joe that nobody wants Joe around, everyone always laughs in his face, and Brandy even talks behind his back. So, I know a few people that are more or less like Robbie in this movie, and those people, they stew in their own hatred, and they will get the karma in the end, eventually. Right now, this movie is about Joe Dirt, one of my favorite movies of all time. Because even though this guy is uncultured, uneducated, but dumb as a rock, and it will hit on anything that walks in the room, pretty much. And doesn't take the hint to say no, thank you, or whatever. He's still very pluggy and very upbeat about certain things. Like, for example, he said to his catchphrase, or you can't have knowing a heart, and let's the garden, so dig it. And that's like what we're gonna do. I'm gonna enjoy life and dig it. Dig it, daddy-o. So anyway, he tells the story about how he was a little kid, well, a little Joey, if you will, and that when he was a little kid, when he was a baby, his parents ended up he said that he was born without top physical, so his parents put a mullet wig on his head, and it fused or something to his scalp, so that his hair looks like this during the majority of the movie. Business of front party in the back. I hate that style of hair, by the way. So anyway, is it very common for babies to be born with the top of their heads? I'm not making a joke or anything about that. I'm being serious. I'm just a real fan of that very big thing. Also, I know that the baby's head would be it's still growing and stuff, and that it would probably grow into the wig and that kind of thing, but wouldn't it be more appropriate to get like a small wig size for that, like a patch or something to put on top of it, and then put the wig on top of that, so that they could which that will get surgery for it eventually. And that's plus the fact that I'm sure that wig probably would be dirty and probably fibers and stuff that would get into the and under the baby's skin and whatever. So that could lead to infections and then lead to possible death of the baby. But in any case, they showed the kid got this thing attached to his head, this little rug, which I think the baby would possibly grow out of that one particular wig, and it would be a whole big mess, but whatever. So anyway, the kid gets left in a trash can, and the parents up and take off without him. And then goes to the sister too. So the kid's all alone, and he walks until he finds the cops. And now he's pretty much abandoned, and he's put into public foster homes, and one of which is run by one of the foster homes is an elderly woman who has a humping dog problem, who is played by the same woman that plays in the Goonies, which, if you've seen the Goonies, you know who I'm talking about. The old lady. I can't think of her name offhand, but yeah, she's always typecast as the grudge old lady. So anyway, they have him suing her. Then when I guess he's tired of dealing with all that, he goes off and he's walking along and he finds the dog with his private regions stuck to a porch in the middle of winter time. So it's kind of like when you get your tongue stuck to a pole, of which I never did, and I never got my tongue stuck to a pole or anything for that matter. So the dog is over there howling because ouch. He tried to pull it out and ouch. And yeah. So anyway, the owner comes out, Brandy, and she's horrified about the dog and stuff. She thinks it might be Jojo that did it. So Jojo said, "No, I didn't do anything wrong. We gotta get him off of here." I'm sorry if they can't wrong, but we gotta help the dog out. So then she runs into the house and pulls out a gigantic set of head slippers. So then the guy says, "Oh no, that's wrong. That's so wrong." The dog is howling because he knows what they are. He said, "No, get the spatula out." So she gets out a spatula, and the guy easily picks up his disco balls. So and the father comes around and he said, when we help the kid out, we help her out and stuff. So being a protective redneck father, like, what are you doing here? And so Brandy got it back and he's like, "We're just going only after the dog." So anyway, in the next shot, we're getting along quite nicely, and Brandy's riding a horse, of course, met Red, and like the guy Robbie is over the top with Joe Dirt, being all like macho and all broadcastic with his buddies over there, just being a real asshole toward Joe Dirt. And so Brandy's like, come over and Joe Dirt, you want to come and join me for Dairy Queen or something? Really, I would love it if anyone wanted to go with me to the Dairy Queen or the Jolly Cow or any ice place, basketball, manage, you name it. I'm there. I'll probably open you too. So anyway, Robert's like trying so hard to be with Brandy. He's saying, can I come too? He's very macho and very very forward and very tough when he's with his boys. When it comes to the girls he likes, like, can I come too? Please, dear, can I come too? It's not really funny. Like, I could so see a tough guy, big and brave for his friends and stuff. And then when he's with his lover or his girlfriend or wife, it's like, yes, dear, yes, dear, yes, dear, okay, babe. Funny thing, when I had Rob Coop as a friend of mine and my father's friend, he would talk a big tough talk and stuff. He had a big biker jacket on and stuff. When he was with his woman, he was like, yes dear, okay babe. So it was really funny, especially since he was like 10 years older than he was. It was yes babe. No, not even my own stuff I'm going in, we do that they will do yes dear. But this guy used to say yes babe. Anyway, that's all that. She said no, I only got money for me and Joe. So there was always like a connection between them two. But probably because he helped her with the dog. Speaking with the father ends up coming over in like a piece of shit breast bucket, getting Uncle Meow, and he wants to take the dog hunting with him, and he said, come on, let's go out your mutt, Charlie, come on, let's go, come on. And so you could see that Randy was visibly disturbed by this because of her face, and the guy was drinking like heavily. So anyway, he said, can I come with him too? If you can go out with the dog, I will come out too, said Joe Dirt. To where the guy said, no. If you do come, I'll use you to get the duck or whatever. Which is funny because they come back to a flashback. In the flashback, like a Peter Griffin Carway gag, in which they do that exact thing with someone with hunting with Joe Dirt and the dog, and Joe actually did get the fish or the duck or whatever. And he said, now you see, boy, that's what you gotta do. So in any case, the guy ends up going with the dog, out of forcing the dog into the truck, into the car with him. Even though could see the dog didn't want to go with him, and he's like, get in the car, you goddamn mongrel, and stuff. So anyway, go out hunting, they don't catch anything, and the guy is so stupid and lost that he ends up walking on a railroad track, and gets his foot caught in the switch track. So he sent the dog out for help. So you see the guy waiting there, and then the thing comes on. Oopsie, his leg gets cut off, and then he comes home angry, and when he comes home angry, that's when he got the chuck in his hand, and then he takes aim at the dog and pow, right in the kisser. Now, before the dog dies, on the way over, he stops at Charlie Truth's mom and Hunter. So that's how he gets pregnant with the Charlie Truth. So and then he hates when the father comes home all pissed off and stuff at the dog, he would think the cop or the two people, Joe and Brandy, would try to disarm the guy and take away his gun, away his reach, or something or other, and saying, "This is all your fault, you stupid dog. You know what? You're the jackass that went onto the track when there was a train coming." So who did that big shot? But literally. So anyway, they have and by the way, the guy has an accident. He gets leg severed, from the ankle, from the lower part of his leg down, and then he goes to the hospital, and then he gets the operation done, and he recovers and stuff, and crutches and gets placed at home, or in the course of a couple hours. It's kind of unrealistic. So anyway, during this whole course of the movie, we Joe wants to find out where his parents are. Why he left it there. He wanted to try and find them inside. Because we all want to find ourselves at one point or another. And that's no exception for Joe Dirt. So anyway, he goes there and he tried everything on his son to try to find them. In fact, at first he tried to go to an Indian tracker. Now, I know that that's an old stereotype about Indian Native American trackers, and it's wrong that they put that in the movie, but anyways, it's a Happy Madison movie. They gotta have some cheap fun in certain minorities. Otherwise it wouldn't be a Happy Madison movie. Some things are just fun, okay? So anyway, he goes to this tracker guy, and it just happened that he tried to sell fireworks. But the thing is that when he tried to sell fireworks, he only sold the stuff that he likes. So basically, we call it, snakes and sparklers. Who in the right mind likes fireworks and only likes those two things? It's like going to the beach thing. Oh, I like to see the sand. Okay, I like to see the sand, but what else is there? You got the ocean. You got people in bikinis and bathing suits. You got volleyball. You got everything else. You got sandcastles. It's like going to the beach and you think, oh, I like this place over there. It's like there's something much to look at beside that. So Joe gets taking a new alarm system the stuff to the body. So, and I was really surprised that these things that they had that he listed are actually real fireworks and real things you can buy. I thought they'd be like, like kind of perverted or something that they made up for the movie. So, yeah, my father did confirm that you can actually buy these things from the store, and, you kind of always look, but you can't find them. So, so he convinced Jake to help him out, even though that tracking stuff doesn't quite work right now in the modern age. I'm sure that if you get like a real expert tracker, like a dog or something, you can probably track people. But I guess the implication is that because they got high technology like cars and airports and things like that, transportation, that you can't really find anybody by putting it to the ground or sensors or that kind of thing anymore. Unless you're a robot like Giant 5. But anyway, they have it so that he's trying to find something in his backyard. Looks like a big A-bomb. And it turns out that he had the idea about putting using the A-bomb like as a gun, as it were, to use for a hostage situation in which the Grand Canyon tourist company will give him information about pictures and things from all the people who went to Grand Canyon on the day that he lost his parents, because when he found his head, he got like a epiphany about when they were all together as a family again. So by that knowledge alone, he was able to track down from the Grand Canyon pictures, which is very funny because you see him with the ball-peen hammer threatening to blow up the entire city and possibly half the country with this A-bomb. Now, the thing wrong with this, it's kind of funny that he gets the epiphany when he's Native American, and it's played by Adam Beach, by the way. And it's even more funny is that he had a vision about what happened if he actually does shoot a Roman candle at this bomb. And it's like, hooey, that's a big bomb. And this big explosion. Well, meanwhile, Chicken Wing ends up becoming a big pile of dust that blows away in the wind. A big pile of nuclear dust, if you will. So anyway, we cover that, and you find out that you should probably use this bomb to make a hostage thing. And while he's in the hostage, while he's in the food depot, he has a woman show him his like a golden love, if you will. And I told you that he was a hillbilly, along with someone that say what's the name? Beavis and Butthead. So he kind of kicks off on that, and he ends up getting a one of the people that worked there ended up finding out that it wasn't an A-bomb. It was actually an old crapper tank from an RV. And when the guy strikes the tip of it, it ends up pumping out all the sewage on the poor Joe. That's why they got named Joe Dirt. Anyway, really funny that that's not the way a tank works like that. You know, if you hit the top of it, the liquid will just stay in the top of it. It won't ooze out like something pushing it from the bottom upwards. So they did that just a joke. Happy Mass and racist jokes and poop jokes and pee jokes, I'm sure. Well, there's also a part where they have the guy there, a guy that can't understand with the dam from the Water Boy with like a Louisiana accent. And apparently he's like a nexus for this movie and the Water Boy and anything else he's in. Because he's in this movie when Louisiana too. And at one point, you were looking for Mother World, Dennis Company, in which he bought a Hemi from a woman for cheap, and then he bought and he had to fly away in a big in a hot air balloon. She had like a big tooth. So what's funny about her is that she said, "Oh, my husband died." So just, I'm sorry that he died. No, be sorry, I killed him anyway. And then, when he lands, he ends up getting a job in an oil pumping station in which he gets fired for trying to fight the people over there for food and scraps. And everyone is mean to this poor guy. If I ever saw someone like that, I wouldn't want to be mean to them right away. And also, they got this weird obsession with calling him gay for some reason. I have no idea why. I mean, he doesn't do anything that's gay or he doesn't dress like anything weird or anything like that. But, one thing I don't like is that she always referred to it as a muscles in the arm that had been like a microphone, and he got back up right here too. I don't like that idea. And plus, he also kisses a woman, a worker there, and she just like poo, and she spits it out, but then she kind of likes it. I don't know whether this woman is supposed to be a daredevil or you couldn't pick a lane or something, but kissing a woman forcefully like that is no bueno. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're Joe Dirt or the President of the United States. That's uncalled for. Let me see it. Where was I? Back at flashback. The so at one point or another, I remember now. He go over to find another job, and we tried to track down the family in like a map type thing. And so he follows the map over to the weird, and we meet that weird guy who said, "Home is where you make it." But Joe Dirt, thinking like an idiot, he says, homo naked. And he likes to see homos naked. I have no idea why he could say that, but with the way the guy would be in public like that, you wouldn't think that he'd like to see homo naked. And naked, it doesn't make sense. So, at one point he meets up with Jill, Debbie, Amy Presley, and he's like trying to impress her at a traveling carnival. and he takes her on a date to the same place that they met at the carnival, which I think is rather stupid, because it'd be like me taking a girl from a restaurant to the same restaurant where she works. She knows what the food is, she knows how much it didn't cost. So what's the big deal? It's like zero sum game. So anyway, they end up having sex, on the first date and last. Which I don't like it, but it's supposed to be like a total trash moment. So then she said, did you used to have a brother? She goes, yeah, we used to have a brother. Did you go to Grand Canyon? Go, yeah, we used to go to Grand Canyon every year. So he puts together that this woman is really his sister. So then he takes his car, which was not the Hemi, but was a Plymouth Superbird, which is a very rare and really nice car, but it's be a piece of shit. The Loner, which I think that mechanic guy was from The Mask. Well, I'm sure about that, but I think it was him. So anyway, she it's like, I don't know, my brother's name was Cleus, my last name was Blackwater. We're not related, so we can have sex again. Then he said, no, I don't want to do it. And then it cut back into, we can have sex if you think I'm your sister again. And he did, so then they do like a sexual act stuff, not on camera, of course, they play it. And he said, oh, you're my sister. That's really funny. Especially because every woman that's listening is like, no, I don't get that. So it's funny. So, at another point in the movie, he gets a job working for like a animal farm down in Louisiana, which they handle alligators and nasty stuff. And he does the thing where he puts his head into a gator's mouth, and the gator ends up eating him alive, pretty much, and taking him around and everything. And he meets a woman there, and he doesn't sleep with her, thank God, but he gets a little backstory behind her and stuff. And he said, if I meet the right man, I'll marry him and all this stuff. So, and the point in the story, he ends up working as a janitor for a local school, kind of like the lowest low that he goes to see. And I like this part of the movie because not only does he try it on a beautiful woman and get rejected on it, but he also like business as usual type personality, and that there's more of them. I can't say this for every teacher and person in the school system, but because of the fact that teachers and principals have to go through extra college and extra studies for it, and they make more money for the jobs, the more of how I should put this, the higher up on the school caste system, the lowly janitor. I mean, it could also be because he's a very pretty woman. He's David Spade in the mullet hat. So, it's implied that just will not go out with genders because they're stuck in high profile, I guess. That wouldn't be me. I wouldn't do that kind of thing. But there are people out there that probably would do something like that. So anyway, they have that, and when people there is chemistry guy. I think the chemistry teacher is played by Ray Romano. I believe. I want to say that. I'm not sure about that 100%. But I think it's Ray Romano, and the kid ends up making big mess and big club. I think it's unplugged to beat Master Gas or something. So everyone in it is pretty much left for dead, except for when Clem, played by Christopher Walken, comes and rescues everyone, and then said that it was Joe Dirt that saved them all. So he said, no, it wasn't me, it was Clem. So it's like, oh no. So that night, presumably, a bunch of mafia hitmen come from New York City or Jersey or wherever. They come over and they whack Clem, whose wife that died from something else. So it turns out that Clem was in the relocation program. So I guess he meant to tell somebody up there, some naughty bits about the mafia up there. So they could relocate him to Louisiana. So that was actually really funny. As he ended up going down there, and for people who have seen this somehow, like I have, you will recognize one of the mafia hit guys. I don't know the name. I'm sorry, but I don't know the name. The guy who plays that guy in the movie is more like soft-spoken and takes Tony shit a lot. And he's I think it's no. He ends up getting beaten up with a phone a lot in the show. Or maybe that's some other fat guy. I know he's in a lot of mafia things. So anyway, they whack him. I think it's implied that Clem takes a few of them down too. Which is great for Christopher Walken. So anyway, Joe realizes that he's not dead, but we're playing possum because Joe describes his ex-wife, and he pitches a tent, if you know what I mean. So it's like, you son of a bitch, you're not dead, and that kind of thing. Now, I think that'd be kind of stupid to do the whole relocation thing in the end, but I guess he does do that for the Silverton in Colorado or something, where Brandy is. And on the way he actually meets the girl from the Gator Farm too. So in any case, we get these information out things about Joe Dirt, that he's calling Brandy up on the phone because she is like his hub for any information about his parents, and any information let her know. And eventually he does call her up on the phone, and would you believe that Robbie ends up dismissing his phone call, being more of a jerk than normal, because he wants Brandy onto himself that he just wants him gone. You know, he wants Jojo gone, he wants him dead and all that. So anyway, they, see, well, you see that when Joe called him up, he said that I didn't get to that part yet. I was telling that the news reporter, you know, didn't know what happened. So, well, oh yeah, there's a funny bit about Buffalo Bob or Bill. Yeah, and it's like the good way to think it is. You can remember Silence of the Lambs with Buffalo Bill. It turns out that Buffalo Bill is the same type of guy. It rubbed the lotion on the skin. You have no idea what kind of life it brings you and that kind of thing. But this time he isn't captive, it's not killed. And and it's played up laughs. And again, another jab at transgender people and people with identity issues too, which is not right. But anyway, this is Happy Mansion movie, so low-hanging fruit, right? Plus, it's a spoof of a movie that was a horror movie, so I guess it's alright. So anyway, everyone takes pity on Joe for this. They think that, you know, something sexual happened, that Buffalo Bob, ran something up his screw hole, that kind of thing. But Joe keeps saying that nothing bad happened, nothing weird happened. I don't know why anyone's saying that. I don't know why anyone say that either. I mean, they obviously know who Buffalo Bob is. So anyway, they had it so that the thin guy that is that helps out with the mother in Bridesmaids, the older man, he gives Jojo information on the cars that were sold, the Rambler that was sold to his parents. And from that picture alone, he tracks down the serial number or license plate number of the people who are his real parents. And so Brandy said that his parents died in a car accident. And that is funny that that's the big sad news that everyone keeps building them to, that they all died in a car accident. So yeah, that's a big sad news. So anyway, so he contacts these guys, and then Joe actually calls Brandy up the line. Well, actually, Dennis Miller has this guys call Brandy the 99th person because you like Joe, but the parents and that we have pictures of them and stuff. And then she's like, oh, I'm sorry, but But I would try to hide them. I would try to hide their identity from him. So he'd go to find out about these two, and they'd play by um, killing Adam and Fred Ward, and they find out about Joe because Joe was been on TV looking for his parents. He's been on tabloid papers and all that. And before I move on with this, it's on Auto Trader, which is a car magazine. So way back when my mother was alive, we used to call it the Bible for my father, because every other month we would buy Auto Trader. And even when he was in captivity for Buffalo Bob, he kept getting Auto Trader. I would look at his big relief moment. No Playboys, no newspapers, no nothing else like that. Just the thing about cars. Again, he's a hillbilly. So anyway, they have him doing that, and he's on an Auto Trader magazine. He's like, hit the big time. Yeah, he's bigger than Jesus Christ now. So they had it where he goes to find out about his parents, because his parents called him up and he said that they're still alive and I think not dead, like burned his head. So he goes there, and they're in Central Park, of course. Did really explain anything else. So then you see that they are horrible people. They just want to sell the merchandise of clowns and all things. Plus the clown and stuff. So then he said, how could you leave me there? We're like for Luke, understand what it was like for Luke to be abandoned by your parents. And then the father said, we just left you there. We just didn't want to deal with you anymore. So we just left you there. You were dumb as a rock. So this is what I mean by ignorance versus the dumb. They didn't want to be parents. They didn't want to do anything. They were very lazy. They didn't give a shit who they hurt, whatever. So anyway, Joe destroys all the property, all the clowns that they were trying to push, and then he runs out of the hailstorm. And it's funny because the father said, you're grounded. Even though the kid's like 20 or 30 years old, and he's well past his prime to do that with. So anyway, Joe's very devastated by it. And Brandy supposedly left him because of Robbie's interference, and then he read a letter to him from her, saying that the parents died and that I don't want you to be around here anymore. I hate you guys and all this other stuff. More lies and bullshit. Which I believe that the kid got knows how to read properly, but he just encapsulates this character Robbie, this rotten, cheating, every good thing that Joe has for himself. He just encapsulates that beautifully. That he can put everybody down, everybody accepts himself down. He's rotten to the core. He hates everybody and everything that's more successful than he is. He's just a very ugly, black, rotten person on the inside. I hate it when people like that make a lot of success and everything, because You know them, and then they know that they're horrible people. So anyway, this devastated Joe, and he's about to jump off the bridge, or off one of the bridges over there in California. So he drove crowd there. What happened to me to uplifted all that, and then the cops over there trying to, be cool, don't jump and all that stuff. Be cool. This is okay. I think this is fine. But then Brandy comes in, and I gotta admit, Brittany Daniel does a spectacular job as Brandy. She's cool, she's smart, she has the accent, and she's excellent as Brandy. She does an excellent role in this movie more than the other one, right? White Chicks, because she had so much of a presence in Joe's life. No longer a little Brandy once in a while. So anyway, she talks him out of it. I was jumping over, and she said, I had to protect you from those people because they're awful people. And I mean, if I lied that they were dead. And I can't believe that Robbie would say such horrible things about me not wanting you around, and I laugh at you and that kind of thing. So, you've always had a family with me. And once you come back, you'll come back to your family. So he decides not to know over. Now, because we're having a Happy Madison movie, there's gotta be something stupid in there. By which, I'm talking about when this guy ends up on horseback, lasso Joe, trying to get him not jump over the edge, and he gets his ankles. He ropes him and gets down to the ankles, and Joe trips over the edge anyway. It would be a cost to be sued over that. And then he does like a bungee jump over the edge, and he hits his head on the concrete bridge, coming back up again. That was very bad for a police officer to do that. I know that in some cases, when you get jumpers, you're supposed to either tackle or otherwise lose the person, not talk them into not jumping over the edge. But Joe was coming back to the other side. He wasn't gonna jump. This jackass to make him jump anyway. May I just say that Brittany Daniel in this movie looks a lot like somebody I used to know in high school. She was a bitch to me in high school, but still, she looked like her. Anyway, she got more karma that went to her. I'm not gonna say how, but she got karma. In case, you do family at the end of the movie. Anyway, she also took the liberty of him while he was knocked out. She had the doctor put in a more appropriate wig into his head. As opposed to a real scalp or some natural hair or something. She gives him a Rasta wig, which I don't know if having a Rasta wig on is offensive or not, but just say yeah for this case it is, because we're more at least that was a white guy's style. It might have been ugly as all hell, but it wasn't offensive. a Ross would make it definitely effective. And he said, this is pretty cool. What, even better than that, have the surgeons or something do like a real scalp on his head, or even a bald cap would be better. But they also have Cheeky Wing open a more successful fireworks station, which has the good stuff on it. And then they have Clem and that woman from the Gator Farm that got married. And she said, thank God that alligator didn't snap up my ring finger because he asked me to marry him. And then they show her fingers like that. Which, yeah, I'm not really like this one, so laugh, but whatever. So, seeing Joe with everybody over there remind me of Wizard of Oz when she says, oh, I had a dream, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there. But in this case, they're not farmers, they're successful people, like Clem. Like Chicken Wing, which is rich now, and got Brandy there, which is hot and cool as hell. So anyway, they also have Trolley 2, which is basically Trolley's offspring. I don't think I can name it Trolley 2, or Trolley 2 isn't Trolley also. His name is Trolley also. But anyway, they also have the Robbie Kumba Biker. Now, this is so funny because, like I said, Kid Rock is still a boy to the end in this movie. So, just nobody wants you around here. And Clem says, you're talking my boy all wrong. It's the wrong tone. It's the wrong tone. What are you with, Father? Bring it on. Well, I am. If you talk to my boy again the same way, I'll stab your face in with a silent iron. And that right there shut Robbie right up. Because he knows that this guy sounded like he was in the New York Mafia. He was serious about doing that. Poor little Robbie would get a face full of lead, quite literally. So anyway, it's funny because you said that you got a feeling now you better get rid of the dirt, and that was very good. And even Robbie even said, no, I know my car will take on your car. You get a week. And so the woman from the Gator Farm said, you think that little thing will be able to take on a Hemi? We're back with the Hemi again. Not the Superbird. I don't know what the hell happened to Superbird. That's a good car. That's really what they call it, the king in cars. So anyway, they have Robbie over there getting smoked out or having all the dirt put in his face like he did with Joe Dirt a long time ago, where he did like a spin out. He made all the dirt and rocks go into Joe Dirt's face, which by the way his name really wasn't Dirt. He just named it that because we had loads of the scene they called him dirt. So they also have the father, Joe John Baker, get a big pile of water slammed right in his face. What he did to Brandy, what he did to Joe, and what he did to Charlie too. Also, so yeah, the extra chicken wing actually launched a big rocket out from the back of the car into the sky, and then another plays off. Now, I don't think it was a very smart idea for Mr. Wing to actually launch a big firework from the back of a moving car. That doesn't sound too dangerous, especially with people in there. But it's a movie, and it's over. The movie was actually pretty good. That Joker got everything he wanted in life. A family, dog, a adoring girlfriend that would take the Dairy Queen, and he found out who his parents were, even though they were terrible people. A real redneck show. And before in this, may I just say that this soundtrack was freaking amazing. Yeah, all the classics you think of, like Ain't Nothing Yet, and they had Freebird from Alabama, and they had a good feel that they had I'm Burning for You too, and yeah, that in there too. Although it was on the soundtrack. And let's see here, yeah, that was about it. I got the cool hand, but everything else was very good. Let's see here, the music was good, there was a good messaging behind it, and always stay positive, except when you find out that your parents are horrible people. But also, they shouldn't make a joke about suicide. That's one of the bad things about this. I ain't like that. They made fun of that. That and the racial jokes too. They all kind of sucky. But yeah, other than that, this movie is excellent. And thank you for watching my video on Joe Dirt on my birthday from 2026. It was so fun. Even if he looks like myself, you enjoy a movie brother here named Joe Dirt. And by the way, just out of curiosity, which one of these two women do you think was prettier? Jamie Presley as Jill or Brittany Daniel as Brandy? I would say that Brittany Daniel definitely is that over Jamie Presley. Just barely. Yeah, this movie was awesome, and I highly recommend it. It was a hell of a lot better than the 6.0 on the Rotten Tomatoes. I would give it more like a 9, because it was the main character, Joe Dirt, was pretty much around. Everyone was mean to him. Everybody was horrible to this guy. It was called gay, but it wasn't gay at all. And he was always positive and got what he deserved in the end, until he got beat. Very greedy and wanting nothing but except for himself. and everything else. He never helped out anybody, and was a real hero journey because he got a bunch of friends and like this upbeat personality, and he got what he deserved in the end. Number 2 was very horrible. I'll call out next year when they got online for free. I saw it on Netflix and I wasn't impressed by it all. Yeah. It's also important to note that they differentiate between rednecks and hillbillies because hillbillies are uneducated with the wouldn't change the ways. With Joe, he started out stupid and dumb, but then he eventually got smarter. In the end, he became I wouldn't say genius, but he became more wise, more and he became more open because of his experiences. And as such, I guess that's my happy face seal of approval because this movie is freaking awesome. It's great, it's dependent, musical, and it shows it very diverse because he got Keaton, he has a best friend, he has a dog, he got 2 women, he got Clem from up north, a Yankee, and everything's all good. See here, and thank you again for watching my video on JoJo for my birthday month for June 2026. If you like what you hear and you want to see more, you can always like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also get my you can also contact me for future information on videos by calling or texting me at 631-707-3707, or you can follow me on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. You can also get me on my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So absolute everyone out there likes JoJo comedy, David Spade, or anything else that man, and we keep positive. And life is a dirt. Life is a garden to dig it. And I like his accent, his overreaction on certain things. It's just very groovy and wonderful. So peace out, my brothers. See you in the next video. All your girls and guys in the internet land. Sayonara, ta-ta, and